Welcome to our U.S. briefing show. Today, we've got some exciting updates from around the world. First up, there's a glimmer of hope in Ukraine. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff announced that Putin agreed to offer Ukraine security guarantees similar to NATO's Article 5 during a summit with Trump. This could be a big step toward ending the war, with both sides showing signs of progress despite some ongoing disagreements. Next, let's jet over to Singapore. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong shared his bold plans for the city-state's future, focusing on boosting technology, expanding economic zones, and upgrading infrastructure. His vision is all about keeping Singapore competitive and resilient in a rapidly changing world, with a special emphasis on AI and citizen involvement. Finally, in Germany, political winds are shifting. A recent poll suggests that by 2026, over 40% expect a far-right AfD leader to become a state premier. Meanwhile, the country is balancing domestic debates like tax cuts for low-income folks and international diplomacy, especially regarding Ukraine and Russia. It's a busy time for Germany as they navigate politics, safety, and global issues. Please continue to watch for more details. Associated Press reports that during a recent summit in Alaska, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff revealed that Vladimir Putin agreed to a groundbreaking security guarantee for Ukraine, akin to NATO's Article 5 collective defense clause. This concession marked a significant shift, as it signaled Russia's legislative commitment to refrain from territorial expansion in Ukraine, a move that could reshape the future of the ongoing conflict. Ukrainian President Zelensky expressed cautious optimism, emphasizing the importance of European and American cooperation to translate these promises into practical security arrangements, including the EU's potential role in Ukraine's NATO accession. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio underscored the importance of peace, warning of consequences if negotiations fail, yet acknowledging the complexity of reaching a definitive peace agreement amid persistent disagreements. South China Morning Post details Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's ambitious vision for Singapore's future, emphasizing resilience and self-determination amid global uncertainties. Wong's speech highlighted plans to expand economic initiatives such as the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone, fostering industrial growth and strengthening regional ties through infrastructure projects like the RTS link and the redevelopment of woodlands. He also announced long-term urban development in northern towns, including new housing estates and revitalized areas like Kranji and Sembawang, aiming to transform them into vibrant regional hubs. Wong's leadership underscores Singapore's commitment to maintaining its exceptional status by embracing technological innovation, particularly AI, and encouraging citizen participation in policymaking, reinforcing the nation's resolve to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world. Deutsche Welle reports that political shifts are underway in Germany, with a recent survey predicting that over two-thirds of Germans expect the far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, to lead at least one state by 2026. This rising influence reflects growing discontent and the party's increasing electoral momentum, particularly in key states like Baden-Württemberg and Saxony-Anhalt. Amidst this political landscape, Chancellor Friedrich Merz's coalition faces internal debates over tax policies, with the Social Democrats advocating for relief for low-income earners, despite resistance from conservative allies. The report also covers tragic accidents, including a deadly vehicle collision at a level crossing and a plane engine fire that prompted an emergency landing, illustrating ongoing safety concerns. Additionally, Germany's government has rejected reparations for its colonial past, asserting that international legal obligations do not apply to historical atrocities, while calls for Swiss EU accession highlight ongoing debates about neutrality, economic security, and regional integration in a complex European context. The Associated Press reports on the recent explosion at U.S. Steel's Clairton plant in Pennsylvania, which has reignited concerns about the future of American steelmaking. Despite heavy investments and promises from Nippon Steel, the Japanese company that recently acquired U.S. Steel, the explosion, resulting in 2 fatalities and multiple injuries, raises questions about the safety, maintenance, and long-term viability of the aging facility. Historically, Clairton has been a symbol of steelmaking's past, with its outdated infrastructure and environmental issues, including fines for pollution violations and hazardous emissions. While U.S. Steel officials affirm their commitment to the plant and its community, critics argue that the company's focus has been more on financial gains, paying fines and lobbying, rather than safety upgrades, leaving workers uncertain about the plant's future amid ongoing safety and environmental challenges. The Associated Press also covers the strategic efforts by U.S. lawmakers to bolster American shipbuilding capabilities in the face of China's dominance. Senators Tammy Duckworth and Andy Kim are exploring partnerships with South Korea and Japan, the world's leading shipbuilders, to create joint ventures for constructing and repairing vessels in the Indo-Pacific region. This initiative aims to address the stark disparity in shipbuilding capacity, as the U.S. lags behind China and regional competitors, risking a shift in maritime power. The trip includes discussions on building auxiliary vessels and repairing ships locally, which could reduce reliance on distant facilities and improve readiness. Already, South Korea's Hanwha Ocean has made strides in U.S. ship repair, and proposals for significant investments from South Korea signal a strategic move to strengthen U.S. maritime defense and industrial resilience. Meanwhile, Yahoo US highlights the contrasting narratives surrounding the political and social landscape in American cities. Black mayors of cities that Donald Trump criticizes as lawless are instead celebrating notable declines in violent crimes, challenging the narrative of chaos often propagated by political opponents. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson exemplifies this shift, emphasizing progress in public safety despite federal funding freezes and political rhetoric. These stories reveal a complex picture of urban governance and community resilience, where local leadership and policy reforms are making tangible impacts on crime rates, even amid national political tensions and federal uncertainties. This contrast underscores the ongoing debate over urban safety strategies and the power of local initiatives to foster stability and hope in America's cities. The Washington Post reports on the ongoing debate surrounding the U.S. government's efforts to enhance safety through a crackdown on crime in Washington, D.C., spearheaded by former President Trump. Advocates argue that these measures, which include increased law enforcement presence and stricter policies, are unlikely to effectively reduce crime rates or address the root causes of violence. Critics contend that such tactics may instead perpetuate a cycle of policing and incarceration, without fostering genuine community safety or tackling underlying issues like homelessness and economic disparity. The article highlights the complex social and political landscape, emphasizing that true safety requires comprehensive strategies beyond mere enforcement, yet the political climate remains focused on visible security measures that often fail to produce meaningful change. South China Morning Post explores the surprising reliance of U.S. farmers on Chinese drones, particularly DJI, despite ongoing security concerns and political tensions. Nebraska rancher David Bruntz shares how Chinese-made drones are now integral to monitoring livestock and managing agricultural tasks, largely due to their affordability and advanced capabilities compared to American alternatives. However, this dependence raises fears of supply chain disruptions and data security risks, with U.S. authorities scrutinizing Chinese technology's role in critical infrastructure and farmland ownership. While the U.S. government considers restrictions and tariffs, farmers like Bruntz feel constrained by the high costs and limited options for domestically produced equipment. The story underscores the paradox of economic pragmatism versus national security, illustrating how Chinese drone technology has become deeply embedded in American agriculture, even amid growing geopolitical tensions and efforts to promote domestic innovation. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Silent fight, criminals burn, black and night. To the spawn, neon green, economic power ruthless scheme. Contract signed, betrayals deep, backroom deals, ultra sleep, and popsicle, leads insatiable crime. In this mental wasteland, dreams die. Contract signed, betrayals deep, backroom deals, vulture sleep, and popsicle, leads insatiable crime. In this mental wasteland, dreams die. Isaac sees, ancient law, future built, unpaid and more.